Hi, welcome back to the channel. This is the ReadyPlayerMe Avatar C# Deep Dive tutorial series. I think we're now on part 5. And in this part, I thought we'd take a look at actually animating the character. And really, this isn't going to be much different than if you watch any other like animation tutorials. I don't create custom animations myself. I always go to Mixamo.com or I have this great pack. Let me grab it real quick. This is the pack here. Maybe I'll put an affiliate link in the description. I really like it because it's nice to have just a huge amount of just animations just I can access from the package manager. So I really like this, the Everyday Motion Pack. It's pretty sweet. It's got a nice demo scene that shows you all the animations at work. But there's so many, but all I ever use is the walking ones. But don't worry, we're actually going to go to Mixamo, and I'm going to show you how to pull them off Mixamo for those of you who are trying to do this as cheap as possible with spending less money as possible. All right, here I am logged into Mixamo again. One thing you might not be aware of is there's actual packs. There's like sets you can get of animations to where if you don't want to go and find a bunch of different ones one at a time, it's hard to tell exactly how to find them because there's like no filter for like an animation pack. Let's see if I can find one. I'll pause while I look. All right, well, there's the trick. Just type the word pack in the search bar, and you'll see a bunch of different movement packs. I bet if we get this locomotion pack, it says there's 12 animations. Let's see what all's in there. This is so weird. I actually cannot see how to actually see which packs are in there. Whenever I click on them, it just loads a preview, but as far as I can tell, it's only loading. Just for fun, let's just download this whole, let's just click download and see what happens. If you remember from part 1, Ready Player Me suggests that we use with skin. We don't get that option right now. I don't know if it's because it's a pack, but oh well, we're going to download it. I'm going to download it in T-Pose. All right, I'm just going to put it in my downloads folder. It's a zip file. And look at that. That saves us from having to download a bunch of different ones manually. I don't really want Remy, but that's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and extract all of these. And let's just put them right into our project. I don't have an animations folder yet, so let's make one. Boom. All right, so let's go find them. Here's our animations folder. Here's everything. I don't really need to keep Remy, I don't think. Because if we look at the model here, yeah, I don't think we need to keep Remy. I think we're safe to go ahead and delete him. Anyway, it's only an issue like if the animation is actually inside this FBX for Remy, and when you see that, which I wonder if it has any of them in there. Yeah, it does have one animation there. If you wanted that animation, I think it's usually good practice to like duplicate it so that it comes out of the FBX file. But I think we're good with all these animations kind of on their own. But see, here's where it gets a little weird because it's still kind of part of an FBX file. Which I don't really like that much. I would love to have all the animations separate. And if you click on the animation tab for each one of these, you can see the name of the animation, and they're all just named Mixamo. And that's going to make it really hard for us to find in the inspector. So if I really wanted to do this right, I think what I would do is, what's nice about having these, I think, is it lets you set your rig to be humanoid to make sure it's compatible the most with the Ready Player Me ones. All right, so I can do that to all of them at once. All right, so that means that the animation now inside here, you can see it actually has kind of an avatar for it. But I think I'm going to go through and I am going to rename all these animations because I just don't want to have to be referencing them from here. I want these animations to be raw. And really, you know what? I don't want all of these. So let's see which ones I want. I'll take idle. I'll take jump. I'm not going to strafe. I'm not going to do left turn. I'll just do walking and running. Really, I'm not going to use any of those other ones. So now I'm just going to come here and I'm going to name this animation idle. I'm going to come, oh, that'll apply it. I'll name this one jump. apply it. This one running. Apply it, and this one walking. And then this would be okay. These would be searchable just fine in the inspector, but just to make it for my brain, I don't know if this is really that important. I'm going to take all of those and Control D to duplicate them. And then I'm just going to delete all those. And now I'm stuck with just the animations. All right, cool beans. And there's some of these we want to loop, right? So we'd want our idle, our running, and our walking. Oh, we can't do multi-object, but we want that to loop. Let's go ahead and loop the pose. Running, loop the pose. Looping the pose, it probably isn't doing anything here because these aren't as part of an actual FBX like avatar. But if you just hover over it, it says this enables the animation to loop seamlessly. So this might still work, but it's I'm still gonna do it because if it does work, then great. We want it to loop seamlessly. And then jump, we're not gonna loop because there's no reason for our jump to loop. And I think we're good. So now what we need is we need an animator. So you might think, oh, I'll add an animator to my player. Oh, I'll add an animator to my avatar. But the problem is, and we haven't really gotten that far yet, we do plan on doing multiplayer. This avatar is not going to be part of our player runtime. The avatar is going to get downloaded at runtime. But what's nice about what ReadyPlayerMe does with their logic is when they download the avatar, they still put the animator onto it. Because if you remember right, and let's just delete this avatar and we'll see it again. All right, we'll go to our avatar loader. We'll load avatar into the current scene. And there it is. And it's got an animator right on it. So where does it get this and where's its controller? Real quick, I'm just going to delete the avatars folder again. Seriously, I have no idea what this avatar caching enabled does. My guess is I guess it makes sense that if we use this loader, it's got to have to save it somewhere. And I guess enabling caching will also save them whenever you download them at run. I guess that must be, it's my own question. All right, so let's see if we can just get lucky. If I just click on this avatar, okay, so here's our ReadyPlayerMe resources. We got animation avatars, look in the resources. Let's see if we actually have, boom, there's the avatar animator. All right, I don't need this guy in my scene anymore. I'm gonna go delete this avatars folder again. Not really important. Oh, why did I do that? All right, here we're back. All right, so here's the avatar animator. So if we just double click on this, this is what it's going to use when our avatars get loaded in. And this is in the documentation too, I believe. Let's take a look. All right, I just checked and I could not find anything specifically related to the Unity's animator. But this is what it's going to be using. It basically looks for, there must be some logic in, I looked it up once when I was bored one day, and it's in the script somewhere to find this animator. And to just test that theory, let's create a new state. And I'm just going to put my name on this. Okay. It'll just be an empty state right there. And then let's load in an avatar. And so if we look at this, no, it doesn't get set automatically. It does utilize the, does automatically add the avatar we would need. But we would need to set our animator at runtime. So let's just keep that in mind. All right, so I was wrong about that. In that case, then let's go ahead and rename this. Actually, you know what? Let's I don't even know why that's there, but we'll go ahead and use it. And we'll put it in our animations folder. And let's call this ReadyPlayerMe animator. And you know what? I'm probably going to regret that because, okay, good. There's no parameters. There's no weird layers. Great. So we can just kind of start from here. And here we have our entry. And when I first started doing animations, this is what my animator would have looked like. Would be, we would have like, this would be idle. And then we would have, this one would be like walking. This one might be running. If we're doing strafing, that might be strafe right. And then this one over here would be strafe left. So here we'd have walking, and then here we would have running, and then maybe we'd have a jump one here. But let's teach you something new if you don't already know about blend trees. They're not too hard to understand. So we're going to do some blend trees. And there's one other trick. I think it's a substate machine. You could use substate machines too, which if we double click into it, it like gives us another animator thing. I don't know the benefit of it other than more organization. I didn't even know this was a thing, except one of the very first assets I ever owned from the Unity Asset Store was for Mixamo animations. And, excuse me, and he uses lots of state machines in his animator. But I'm not going to do that because I honestly haven't spent enough on that. And really, I don't think we need something that good. But we are going to use is we're going to do a new blend tree. And I'm just going to call this blend tree. Now, what I hate about the animator is you can't keep it maximized because you need the inspector. All right, so we're gonna make this blend tree the default state, and we're gonna get rid of this talking one. And I mean, we could leave it called blend tree, but let's just call it movement. And let's just go into it. And so here we have our blend tree, and we choose how many different animations we want. All right, so we're gonna add, let's say, our idle, and walking, and running. Jump's gonna be, I guess we could probably do it on a layer, but I'm not gonna. But jump, what we'll probably do is it'll be on the base layer, and we'll move from the, I don't know, let's just do this for now. All right, so we're gonna have idle, and then we're gonna have walking. Oh shoot, I gotta make sure I get the right walking. This one. And then we're gonna do running. I'm just looking down here to make sure it's in my animations folder and not the ready. So using a 1D blend tree is really easy for idle, walking, and running because we're gonna have a threshold. And this threshold is going to be one of our parameters. And I think what we're gonna call it is we're gonna call it magnitude. I might not like that name later, but that's what I usually use with Playmaker Visual Scripting, because when you get like move vectors and stuff like that, you can get magnitudes from them. But we'll see how it goes with C#. But magnitude works for me. If you're going to be doing like strafing and stuff like that, and you want different animations for your blend tree, you'd want to do one of the 2D ones. And what it does, you plot minimum maximums on 2 different parameters. Notice we have a magnitude parameter and a blend parameter now. So you have 2 different parameters. So you might have your horizontal, like back with the old input system, you'd have horizontal, and then you would have vertical floats from your inputs, and then that would determine which animation it would run. We're just going to keep it with 1D, nice and simple for now. I'm going to uncheck automate thresholds because usually my walking is going to be not 1. Actually, you know what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to make this just called speed. And then I'm going to have my walking be like speed, I don't know, 1.5? Silly. Let's have my walking be 2. And my running will be 4. All right. And so now the blend tree's done. So if we go look at the base layer, we just have movement. And so we can come to our, we can add some more logic to actually set this animator. And then we need to set up logic to control the animator. All right. So how did we finish last time? I just went and watched the end of the last part. So we still had the avatar on the player, and I guess we can do that real quick. We'll just load an avatar, and we'll drop it in. All right, we'll just drop it on the player there, and then we're going to take it nice and easy, and we're just going to put the animator there. I don't want root motion. What root motion does is it tries to apply movement to the object based on the actual animation. I'm not going to apply root motions. There have been times I've turned it on where I've found it beneficial. Like for sitting animations, I can't remember. Did I need to turn it on or off? I couldn't quite remember. I think I had to turn it on for sitting animations to work well. But when I'm just walking around, I've sometimes found root motion causes me issues. Disagree with me in comments and tell us why, if you prefer to keep it on. All right, so we need to go to our movement script. Oh, we lost our avatar. Our avatar in there. And while that's loading, I actually kind of want to go back. I wish Visual Studio could load the C# project and I could still do stuff in Unity. I'm actually going to go ahead and set our speed to, what did I say? In the to 2. Yeah, and then running will be. All right. So we have our speed here. And first thing I want to do is I need another input action. I need a run input action. So right up here, I'm going to put this here, and we're going to call this run action. And do we have a run action? Probably not. All right, we do not. So let's go ahead and add one. And we're going to call this run. And I'm just going to treat it as a button. And then my binding is going to be shift. And then what control scheme are we in? Do we even have control schemes? Apparently we do. What are my other ones in? Just gamepad? Oh, right trigger gamepad. Okay, well this will be keyboard and mouse then. All right. So we have that. And we can now add our run action. There it is, player. So that means we need to enable it. So let's just copy that, paste it, and call this our run action. And then paste it, run action, disable. But on awake, private void awake. Hitting shift enter there really makes it upset. There we go. Shift enter after that, it's happy. All right, so on awake, we want to take our run action, but we want to get the action from it. And we want to get performed on it. And we do plus equal to subscribe to that event. And then we need a method to call, which is going to be, oh shoot, no, we don't want to do that. No, we're just gonna get the value. Yeah, because we don't want to call a method. We don't want to call a method each time because we wouldn't have a way to shut it off. So not doing that. All right. But on update, what we can do is, it doesn't really matter as long I just kind of want it before this spot, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it at the top of update. And we're gonna put if run action dot read value bool. I believe a button's a bool, isn't it? Equals true. We need to do that little daily. Okay? You're upset at me. Why? Oh, we can't set it as true. We have to equal true. There we go. Now it's happy. If that's true, then we want to set speed equals 4. All right. Else speed can equal. All right, so I was paused for a moment to look at my speed variable, and I hate that for the animator now. I am going to go back to calling it magnitude because sometimes our speed will be 0, sometimes it'll be between 0 and 2. Numbers will be between 2 and 4, and we want the animator to be able to handle those in-between values. So we're going to simple move, and then we want to also, we're going to we need our animator. So we don't have the animator yet. I'm gonna put that up here. It's actually gonna be a public one. We need to set it from a different script probably. Animator controller. Just animator. Okay, just animator. I'm gonna call this animator. All right. I guess before I forget, because that would really stink, I'm gonna go ahead and drag that there, and it's gonna get the animator from the avatar. All right, back over here. So we have the animator. So right after we move, I am going to take the animator and I'm going to set a float because that's the parameter type. Okay, this is a float. There was already one there, I think, but that's the 4 different types you can use. And we're going to set the float. It probably wants a string, or I could use an integer. I'm going to type in magnitude. Don't tell me you don't like it. String name. Oh, and float value. Okay. So the float value is going to be move direction. And what's funny is I don't even know if this works. Dot magnitude. Yay, it does. Okay, I've never actually done that in C#, but it's there. All right, great. All right, so that might be it. I have my doubts, but that seriously might be it. So let's see how it goes. Let's hit play. Well, we're idling, so that's good, right? And we're in the stinking world. All right, so this is an example of we're actually root motion. I think we'll save our bacon if I'm not mistaken. So if we apply root motion, it's not going to let the feet go through the ground. And again, I'm totally wrong. So, research time. All right, I'm betting the issue is this bacon to pose, the root transform. So let's click that. So we want to bake in the rotation. We want to bake in the position. And let's just go ahead and do this last one too. I don't know how much that's going to matter. And there should be an apply button. Oh, no, there isn't. Bake, bake, bake. Running, bake, bake, bake. I really don't think this last one matters, but for what we're doing. And then bake, bake, bake. Please tell me that fixes our issue. You know what's probably super embarrassing is, yep. None of that mattered. Because I forgot to zero out the avatar when I dropped it onto our player. Let's hit play now. And I didn't change any of those settings, and we'll see if it impacts anything. All right, so there he is. He's kind of floating on the top. That might just be because we haven't moved yet. Now, he's still kind of floating. So let's see. Let's turn our gizmos off of 3D. I don't get why they call it 3D. All right, so let's see. Here's our ground. Here's our player. I don't really... Oh, wait. Really? We are floating up. Oh, we're probably floating up because this dang skin width. I've never understood the skin width. It's always been a pain in my butt. If I just crank it all the way down, but we'll be fine. So if we take this skin width, crank it all the way down, hit play. Someone tell me in comments why I shouldn't do that to the skin width, but I always do that so that my feet are touching the ground. It's still not perfect, but it's pretty dang close. Especially in the third person. I mean, we can't really see it in this view at all, right? Oh my. Oh my goodness. Oh wait, did you see? We weren't able to walk through this thing. Oh no, we could. Oh my. That is so slow. Cannot read type value Boolean from control keyboard shift. Notice down here I have some type of error with my input. Well, we should fix that. How do we get to that? over here, double click on one of these things. So run action type button. What would the value be? All right, somehow I just deleted it. So we're gonna add it back. And this is going to be run. And the path is going to be listen shift. Keyboard back. So it's button. So what I can do, I shouldn't be doing bool. I should be doing action dot is pressed because it's a button. So if that, apparently I need to do that. Here we go. Set the speed, otherwise don't. Otherwise it's set to 2. But I really don't understand why we were moving so slow. Because what we want is we want the magnitude of move direction times speed. Otherwise, if we're getting magnitude of our move direction, it's normalized. So it's 1. That's the value it's getting, is 1. So what's the best way to do this? Can I get the magnitude if I do like this? Move direction times speed. And is the speed my magnitude really? Apparently I can do that. All right. So let's see what all those changes do for us. I also need to add our run action here, because since it got deleted and I re-added it, it's now gone. And I'm not seeing it. Oh, because... No, why? Why am I not seeing it? It's gone again. What? All right, that was weird. I added it back, and now it's here. Okay. Let's clear all that jazz. Let's see if we get lucky. Okay, I tested this before I showed you all. All right, let's go and maximize this so you can see it in its full glory. All right. Here we go. I hate Cinemachine. I was really thinking about getting rid of it. Don't understand their camera free look thing. It just doesn't make sense to me. All right, watch this guy walk. What is his problem? Look at his run. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm hoping that's not to do with the Mixamo animations. I really hope. Should we do one thing at a time? Well, root motion's off. Let's go into our animations and let's uncheck these bake into pose things, because I thought that was an issue and they weren't. Oh, wait, there we go. Jump, bake, pose, no. Running, bake into pose, walking, don't bake into pose. See if that made a difference. All right, so same issue, but look, it's the actual animation. Should I have like looked at them on Mixamo first before? Wasn't it? I don't know if that's intentional or if there's something wrong with the, I don't know. I have not seen that. Not to that extent anyway. So let's try it all again, and I'll let you know what fixed it. All right, so this looks pretty normal. I'm gonna just download this single walking animation. There we go, with skin, for Unity, 30 frames per second, no reduction. All right, here we have it in the project. Looks fine with the Remy model. And looking at the model, at the rig, except for generic, we set it for humanoid and we apply. What happens if we go back and hit play on the animation? It's the same, isn't it? All right. Now what I want to do is I want to test it on the animator for Lentry here. So let's get walking, but we want to get Remy's walking. And let's see how that looks. Test all my different theories here. Okay, it's not looping. But it looked like it was going to be okay. animation, constraints, import, walking, loop time. Why? All right, there we go. He's walking wonderfully. Now let's just test my theory. Now I should still just be able to go like this. And first off, let's go find this walking and delete it. Also, just so I don't make another mistake, let's go find this one. And let's get rid of all the animations in the ReadyPlayerMe resources. I'm not going to use any of them. Go back to our animator. And then, whoops, I lost everything. Animations, Remy. Let's see if I can just duplicate this one. Go back to our animator, and then here on walking, make sure we're not picking the one inside Remy, but instead we're picking the one that's by itself in animations, and let's see if we're still happy. All right, let's see how it walks. Just fine. All right, so I think just the animation pack we got might not have been great. So I'm just gonna go back and I'm going to now, oh, first we gotta check and see if I delete Remy, if that breaks anything. I don't think it will. And if we go ahead and hit play, just to make sure we can still walk. And once we confirm that all works, we'll go get a new jump and run animate. All right, looks good. All right, so I'm just gonna go find a running and jumping animation here. Again, another quick reminder, make sure whenever you're importing models or animations, check out the rig tab, make sure it's up for humanoid, it's gonna make it the most compatible. All right, I've got all the new animations now. Let's go back to the animator. Idle's still the same. There's walking. Fast runs. All right, let's hit play and see how it rolls. All right, looking good. Idle, and then we're walking. Walking that way and this way and that way and this way. Good, good. Oh, I hate this camera so much. This is not a camera tutorial. And shift. Why is sprint still goofy? That is weird. I totally got a new... This is fast run. There it is. Can we drop our avatar onto this? Is that what we're seeing? It's a little weird because the legs are kind of pointing in whenever he's running. Shift, forward. Yeah, what is that? All right, you can even test this at runtime, but I found baking the root transforms really make a huge deal here. So here, let's show without it again. All right, so without baking the root transforms, there's this weird kind of crisscross run. But if we bake it into the pose, I feel like it does a much better job. I don't know, is it just me? I feel like it's much, much cleaner. Another thing we can do in scene view is, let's look at our player like this. And I think if we hit Shift F, all right, our scene view will now follow the player. So even though I have crazy camera over here, we can still see our player how I want in the scene view. Hold down Shift. Yeah, I think that's going to work. Maybe playing with some of those other settings, but that's going to work for our purpose here. So I think that's a long enough video. We just set up animations on the ReadyPlayerMe. You can see some things you might need to tweak and watch out for. In the next video, we're going to look at actually loading the avatar at runtime and all of this logic still working.